There it says, you are live. Hello, Mr. Ed here, coming to you live at the studios here at St. Joseph Abbey of Studio B Production. And it's going to be a great Saturday, the 4th of October. And thanks so much for all of you that were sitting out there waiting, already having comments coming in. And I was chatting to a few of them. Let's see, Jim Collins, Doris Hanson, Dr. Bruce, Grayson, so a bunch of them already. And now we already got two more. Well, look at that. Robert Hilliard, another member, the number three, Robert, your number three member today. Stephen White. Oh, so, and Stephen White, I recently found my channel. Thank you. Thank you. Hanley's Homestead. Good morning. Good morning. So it's gonna it's look, October. It is easy reader. Good morning. October is the absolute best month in Louisiana. Uh, like clockwork, the fronts started coming through, and they started in early September, but in the latter part of September, we had several of them right behind. Good morning, Philip. Several of them right behind each other. So our humidity has been greatly reduced, really, a few weeks back. Merlin, good morning. Why or? I'm a beginner. Well, yeah, why or? I'm a beginner too, even though I've been having bees for a long time. So that the look, good morning, Bobby. Bobby Greenleaf. That means you're number four, Bobby, is for the fourth member joining me this morning. So thank you, Bobby. I had such a great time when I was in South Carolina over there, Bobby. And thank you for doing all you did for getting me down there. Ellie and Evan, good morning. In northern Indiana, well, our weather here has been just great. Good morning, Frankie. Good morning. Sherry Cheney, good morning. Hey, Sherry, I know I'm going to talk about this later, but I know you all are looking for a place down in Florida, and I'm going to be actually going down to Florida and talking in just a few weeks. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. Elise, good morning from South Africa. Elise, yeah, I know you follow along regularly, so thank you for that. Robert Freeman, good morning. St. John Coleman, just watched your interview with Professor Dunn from a few years ago. Yeah, Fred and I, yeah, we go back a couple of years now, and he and I become great friends over the time. And when that interview came out, I really didn't know Fred when we came out, but I was actually living here at the monastery. So that's been at least 3 or 4 years ago. So what a great interview, and looking forward to seeing Fred in a few weeks, well, a few more months up there at Nabi. Josh C. Oh, Randy Williams from Alabama. Josh C. It's been a long time since I could join. So good to be back with you. I have had to adopt the Mr. Ed method of beekeeping this year because I was too busy to micromanage the girls. I, I always say a hands-off approach for keeping bees has worked very, very, very well for me. I do not recommend it for the majority of people, but as Josh just said, sometimes it does work, and maybe keeping ourselves out of the bee box and let the bees take care of themselves might be a good option for you too. Anyway, it works for me, but uh, um, it's a tough path to go down. I have room in Florida to host. Well, so I am going down to Florida. I'll just talk about it briefly right here. I'll be speaking in West Palm Beach. In fact, if you go to the description of this live broadcast, I actually have a link to where you can find out more information about my visit down there. We want to be back down there until the end of October. Oh, man, you guys are just on the road, huh, Sherry? Golly. Beth Field, good morning from South Florida. So, Beth, what part of South Florida? Because, I mean, really, West Palm Beach is not, I mean, it's only what, 30 or 40 miles north of Miami. So it is pretty far south down there. Steve Zimmerly, good morning, Steve. I got your little letter, so I'm gonna be reading that later. I'm glad you like the honey. Them bees really do good for us. Utah Bee Man, Glade Sessions, good morning. Good morning. Mary Murphy, too busy for sure. Busy is good. Look at that sidewalk astronomy on catching a live broadcast. That is incredible. Hey, what time is it over there? Robert Hilliard, come to Texas in November to our state convention. It's in Waco, not far from Conroe. I actually might be going because when I talked to the president of the Texas Bee Association, he hinted at me coming and speaking. So I may be actually going over there. So I'll post more on that later on. Oh, in North Palm Beach, you're just right there. So you ought to go to that link and find out all the information on my visit down there. And I think that if you're not a member of the Palm Beach, I think it's like only $10 to come spend the evening with me. I got the presentation I'm going to be doing is my work here as the beekeeper for the monk. So it's a fun presentation. I've given it several times, but it is by far my favorite presentation to do. Joey Bag of Donuts, where are you today? Oh, look at that, Royal Palm Beach this evening. You're only a couple of weeks early, Sean. I hope still, if you're around there, you're more than welcome to come on over. Oh, look at that, Beth. So you already got it doesn't cost you anything to go. If you're a member, it doesn't cost you anything. So I hope to get to meet you on there. Angie, Gigi's Bees, good morning. Look at that, Deborah. I think, Deborah, you must be number 6, the 6th member to show up. I knew you would show up. So good morning. Hey, and what's the temperature over there? We're really nice this morning. I think it was 65 when I came up to the Abbey this morning. Josh, how are you? I can't believe that uh, you're up right now, Josh. Well, I don't even know what time it is in New Zealand, but it's got to be dark for sure. 1606. So that's 6 o'clock in the morning. Wow. Sarah Hancock from Wales. Good morning, Sarah. Tim and Hannah from Gunline Bees. Good morning. Red Horse. Good morning. F and T Honey. Tracy. Thank you for joining me this morning, Tracy. Thank you. Eric the Red, when us Texas say not far. You're right. Texas is kind of large state. Snow in the mountains in, I'm trying to think, is it North Dakota, South Dakota? Anyway, I know you're up over on that side, Deborah. Sunset is at 19. So we have, wow, I can't believe you got daylight over there still. Thank you for joining me this morning. Michael Drummer from Crown Point, Indiana. All right. Thank you. Thank you. 3 in the morning. Josh, what are you doing up at 3 in the morning? I mean, for me, that's normal to get up at 3 o'clock because I do almost every morning. I'm up at 3 o'clock, but I have things to do in the morning. I don't know what you're going to be doing at 3 o'clock in the morning. From Toledo, Ohio, Red Horse. Jim Brickley, good morning. Mustaf, good morning, Jeff. Montana. I knew that. I did know that, Deborah. I did know that. Where is the Dirt Rooster? He was entertaining some of his fans last week because I talked to him yesterday. So he was entertaining them. I think they came down from Kentucky and they spent a little time with him, went out and eat several times and just had a good time with him. So he may show up today. I don't think that he's working. I go to bed every night between 8 and 8:30. Corey Martin, good morning from Southern Iowa. Absolutely love your content. It's so interesting and calming. Thank you. Now, I I'm just so grateful to everybody that takes their time to follow along with me and with Charlie, what we do. We have so much fun doing it, but we also love sharing that fun. And, if you learn something, boy, that's just a plus because we're just making our observations on what we're doing. And, if that gains you some knowledge, well, I'm happy to share that. So, uh, just know that I'm grateful for everybody, members, subscribers, viewers, everybody, that I'm just totally in debt to you for the kindness that you all extend to me. Even like here this morning, Saturday morning, everybody's got things to do, and yet you're joining me this morning. Phil, 3 a.m. does not exist. F and T, honey, we get up at 1:30 every morning. What the heck? Tracy, what do you get up at 1:30? You must work a night shift. Laya love ducks. I am sure you probably have heard of Doc Leo, yes. Do you think horizontal hives are really less work to manage? I I say for sure they are. I'm a big, 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 good morning, Scott, a big fan of long hives, of horizontal hives. Scott, thanks so much for being a member. I know you're one of my new ones, and you're just down the road in Pearl River. Good morning, Ron. Uh, the the long hives are just a great option for old beekeepers like myself. They're just so friendly, and they don't require a lot of maintenance. So yes, I am a big fan of them. Thank you, Corey. Ann Masterson from Ireland. Thank you, Ann. Thank you for your love and support. Becky Legion from sunny South Carolina. Boy, what a great state. And I was there just what, in July I was there. So it was a great, great visit down there. Thank you, Sherry. Good morning, Micah. Good morning. Yep. I knew it had to be work. It had to be, Tracy. Could you advise on the best way to start beekeeping? Uh, m- the in I mean, because there's so much information and so many choices to begin. I would encourage you to first join a bee club. That would be the first thing that I do. Join a bee club in your area and learn how to keep bees where you live. It doesn't do you any good to learn how Mr. Ed keeps bees in Louisiana if you're up in Pennsylvania. So you need to learn to keep bees where you are, and joining a bee club is probably the best way of learning that. And plus, you can possibly get somebody to mentor you, and that that's always my first choice. Go to join a bee club and start learning um, how to keep bees in your area. And then the second thing I always say is learn bee biology. If you understand bee biology and how bees work in nature, then that will help you as a beekeeper to work with the bees instead of trying to work the bees. So to me, it's always been a better fit to be a steward than someone who owns bees. So just work with them. Good morning, Mark. Mark Zenner, and then Mark Sutherland. It's 15:10, so that's 3 o'clock in England. Oh, thanks so much for joining me this morning, Mark. Dennis Barney, good morning. Dennis, you doing any cutouts? I got a couple of them coming up. We got some nice ones coming up. So I got some videos. I got some old cutout videos that I'll start posting again since all of my fun for this month is over with the fire. And I'll be talking about that in a little bit. But so getting back to cutouts and being October, man, it's just like the right time of the year with the flow starting for us. Took my coffee tree indoors again around. I will. When I worked for the post office, I had to be at work at 1 a.m. Man, Robert, that's a tough tough call. I didn't have to get to work till 6. Oh man. I was a carrier. I wasn't a clerk, so I different work schedule. GN, good morning from North Carolina. Man, Captain Brian, good morning. Man, Brian, you really are a beekeeper now, huh? You got your hands in everything. Holy cow. Why do you spray swarms with sugar water? Uh, that's a great question. Mostly because a swarm is generally hungry because you don't know how long they've been sitting there. So one thing they start doing is start licking all the sugar water off of the other bees, calms them down. It distracts them where you can then work getting them into a box or a trap or whatever to move them from their location. So I use sugar water a lot if I get a swarm close enough to spray with it. So Captain Brian says he's feeding, he's vaping, and he's insulating. Dude, you you are something else. Hey, when are y'all coming down to New Orleans? Because I know you know, being a pilot, you got to get like free travel, right? Loma Vista Bees, good morning from Central California. Great to have you with me this morning. So you had a few surgeries. I hope it wasn't because of all your wrangling. Sidewalk Astronomy, who lives in the Netherlands, his comment is in the Netherlands, bees, etc., are in danger. All meadows are being round up here, so they're spraying them. No more wildflowers, so no insects, no birds. Um, it's I'm glad I live in the United States where particularly here in Louisiana where we're not so much um, regulated because I know in other states even to do what I do, wrangle bees, go take bees out of houses. In some states, you have to be licensed now to do that, and it's all just a form of revenue generation. That's all that is because um, it's a beekeeper really should are the best qualified to remove bees as far as saving them, in my humble opinion. Jim, keep on watching them videos. Golly, Brian, you're too young to have a hip replacement. Jim Brickley, good morning. I'm looking for recommendations for a honey label. I have some ideas, just looking for someone to put it on paper. You know, over the years that the people have been sending me labels, I've gotten some great ones, and I always find the ones that people um, come up with their own inspiration, something that relates to them, and they make that their label. It to me is such a personal thing. I've had them where even the beekeepers' children have come up with a design and they made that their label. So all kinds of ways to come up with the label. Here at the Abbey, wait, let me grab one to show you this. Sorry about that. I should have had this as a prop, but I didn't know I was going to do this. So this is our label here at the Abbey, and there's no bells, whistles, frills. There's nothing fancy about this, and it's the reason is because this logo, which is the Abbey's logo, is on everything. Everything that the Abbey produces, it's everywhere, and it's a copyright logo. And so uh, for me, I love the simplicity of this label, and so it can be simple, something simple like this, or as elaborate as you want to get. So again, it's a personal thing, but I really, when I first started Abbey Honey, and I came up with the label design, and I've got one in the honey house. It was all flowery and very typical honey label. But I'm so proud of that label right there. It's such a it says what it is, and that's it. There's nothing to it, and that is a very monastic approach to worldly things. It's we're not about showing off, or it's just what you see is what you get, and I'm very proud of that. And so that's really, I think, is a good advice for those that are contemplating making their own labels. What you see is what you get. Oh, I missed a bunch of comments. Sorry. Alan Solomon. Uh, thank you. Jesse E. from Denham Springs. That's just up the road. That's by Lee. Lee lives up in Denham Springs. Red Horse, look at that. Brian and Kathy from Bakersby. Another one. They're in Denham Springs too. Homer Campbell, good morning. North Central Indiana. Had pest control company 30 years. Always had beekeepers on the list to save our bees. And that's true too, Homer, that I am on several pest controls lists for bees because the pest control companies do not want to kill the bees either. So they recommend a beekeeper like myself to go out there and remove the bees. And you're going to pay a pest control person to kill your bees, or you can pay a beekeeper and they're going to save the bees. Jeff, this is from Jesse E. Do you have a way to contact you about buying some bees in the spring? So in the description of this video, I'll go back and I put the address for here at the Abbey. You want to write a letter or send a label or buy honey. But if you go into the description of my channel, I have my email address where you can send me an email and I'll contact you from that. Bead Tafsi from Germany. I'm sorry I did not say that your name correctly. Beide, Beady Tafasi. Good morning. Hope I did better on that one. Look at that, Scrody McGoober balls. Man, it has been a long time since I heard from you. Jack Sparrow. Captain Jack's Honey Hut says, good morning, Jeff. Micah Estep, has anyone else talked to their bees while doing inspection? Well, why wouldn't you? Yeah, I know there's a lot of people that talk to the bees. In fact, at our club meeting in Abita Springs last Thursday evening, one of the brand new members in there and a brand new beekeeper, she actually bought bees from the Abbey. She was saying, oh, I talk to my bees all the time. So talking to bees, that's a good thing. I talk to them too. Please don't sting me. Please don't sting me. West Cliff Honey Company, John, try using ChatGPT for your labels. That's a new thing to me, that ChatGPT. I just found out about it, but that's no surprise. I'm an old guy, don't know about a lot of computer stuff. So yeah, it does. That gives you some great stuff. AI is taking over everything. Hester Lube from, oh my goodness, Bloemfontein, South Africa. I got actually a couple of regular viewers that are now watching in South Africa. So that's just like awesome. Good morning, Pauline Evans. Is the circle on the Abbey label representing a window in the Abbey? It is. So that is they call this a rose window right here. And this is inside. In fact, it's on the very front of the church, as well as some of the side walls as well. So yeah, that rose window is a very, very common window in architecture, and it's also in the design of the church. As a matter of fact, today is the anniversary date of the dedication of the Abbey Church. So it's a big solemnity. There's a lot of bells, bells ringing and incense burning. It's a big deal, and there's a lot of people here today for that event, as well as in the seminary college. It's a come see weekend, so there's 100 people visiting the seminary to see if it's a fit for them, as well as in the monastery. There's 4 or 5 guys that are coming to see whether discerned to be a monk, whether it's a calling to be a monk. So it's a big day here at the Abbey. But I'm just spending my morning with you guys, and I'm really happy for it. Just paid my beekeeper's license fee in Western Australia. $50 based and $3 for each hive a year. Wow. Oh, and it allows you to brew bees as well. That not bad. But hey, Phil, how many hives do you have? Because you got to pay $3 for each hive. So, if you got 100 hives, that's a chunk of change. Jesse E, thank you. The true plate, kind of weird. You need to pay to hold hives. No, it's revenue generating, and now in Australia, now that they've got the Varroa over there, hopefully they'll be using some of those funds to fund that outbreak as well. Do your bees talk back? Of course they talk back. You don't hear when they're getting ready to sting you. Yeah, you hear that. BS from Germany. Good morning. Look at that, Mark. Thank you so much. So Mark Zenner just sent a $9.99, $10. Thank you so much, Mark. No, I haven't gotten any honey yet. Oh. Now, and I just checked the post office yesterday because I always go the day before I go live to make sure I don't have any mail still over there. I don't go very often, about every other week I go, so I didn't receive it yet. Mark, thank you so much for your gift. Thank you very much. Tamale H. Kanua from Hawaii. Hot dog. Man, we got them from now. It's from Hawaii, Australia, South Africa. I'm waiting for Canadian people to show up because I know I always got Canadians show up. Uh-oh, look at that. Joey sent some memberships. So I know Linda is the one. She received a free membership. So Linda, when you become a member, you get a couple of perks for that. I get your name will get shouted out in one of my videos. You get to watch the videos I post every Friday a few days early, and then periodically, about once a month, I post a members only video. So Sean, thanks so much for sponsoring Linda. She's gonna love it. So thank you, Sean. Mark Reeland from Essex, England. Another UK guy visiting. Thank you so much, Mark. Brian Corner. No bees. I hope you took Charlie out for lunch after the fire. So I'm going to talk about the fire this morning. Oh, that's what it is. No, so I'm glad you said that, Mark. I will I will get on world famous Mike Barrett because I saw he came to the Abbey 2 days ago and he didn't bring it, so I'll get on him. Thomas, thank you, brother. Thank you very much. You're so generous, Thomas. Another member. Thank you, Thomas. And as far as getting Charlie out to lunch, yeah, we did go to lunch. We went to because I remember we went and ate Mexican that day, and even though the video ended kind of abruptly on that one, we actually were talking about it going to lunch. So, sorry that didn't get on the video. Look at that, DC. Good morning. Bill Reynolds, he says, I'm close to Canada, Northwest Maine. Or is that Minnesota? That's Minnesota. MN. Gee, where it's cold up there. That's world famous Mike Barry's favorite stomping ground is Minnesota. The land of what is it, 10,000 lakes, something like that. Yeah, Linda, you're gonna enjoy the little perks. Not that it's very much, but it is a few little things. And so the to become a member, uh, it's $4.99 a month to become a member of my channel, and you really don't get a lot of perks. I just said them, but I really appreciate the support that you give me by becoming a member. So I appreciate all the members, and I think right now I'm like at 160s. I think that's what I am. So thank all of you members. But my gratitude goes out to the subscribers, viewers, everybody. Y'all are just a great bunch of people that follow along with my adventures. Brian Corner, I'm in Ontario, Canada. Bill, where is it? 80. Where are you? 80. It's hours. We're not even that warm. Is that right, Tim? That he got it like I got that salsa, which I definitely like the salsa. So Zena M, she says, I'm trying to catch up on your channel, and I was wondering what happened to or what going on with that huge hive that you cut off the tree and placed in the observation box. Well, um, I did post a video on what I did because those bees did not make it, and I caught a swarm and I put the swarm in there, and there's a video on that. I did post a video on that, so you have to, and I don't remember the title of it, but I did post a video on it, and shortly I plan on doing an update because that hive is just doing so good. The new one that I put in the observation hive. So keep on looking, scrolling through. If you go to my playlist on my channel, you'll have a better chance of finding that particular video. Fall is in the air in Northwest, feels like winter. Yeah, I'm telling you, like this morning, it was 65 when I got here this morning, and this whole really the last 2 weeks in the morning we're in the mid 60s every morning. So it's definitely here, and like I say, October is the best month in Louisiana because our humidity is so low. It's dry, and hurricane season is just about over. So that's really a good thing. It's 80 degrees in Hee Haw Junction, Florida. Oh man, DC says it's going to be in the 40s next week. 56 right now. 56. All right, so I guess I need to start talking about what I'm going to be talking about, and it really is. This is the time if you want to come to Louisiana, come in October. It's the best month there is. So as most of you all know, I posted that video on the fire that hit one of our bee yards. It's been probably about a month now ago that it did it, and I was home. It was a Sunday. I was home editing a video, and I got a call from my buddy Bernie, who is the father of his daughter owns the property that those bees are on, and he said, Jeffrey, I'm over here, and the field's on fire, and so are your bee boxes, and I just like flipped out. It's like because it's nothing but a big open field, grass field, and I'd been there just 3 days prior to that, And as Charlie and I are driving through the field, I told him, I said, Charlie, I sure hope that the catalytic converter doesn't catch this field on fire. Well, nothing happened when we were there. And yet, 3 days later, the whole field burns up. So I know I didn't have anything to do with it, but I was so glad that I never saw the fire because it, it had to burn extremely fast. And it's probably about a 15-acre tract of land right in there. And it burnt everything, all the grass in there. And I think the only thing that really saved our bees was because there wasn't, a lot of other fuel besides the grass um, by the hives, and so it just passed through the hives pretty quickly. And like the video I posted the other day, yesterday, when I went in and looked at the ones that were really burnt up on the outside. Insides, there was nothing. So we really did dodge a bullet on that one because it could have burnt up all those bees. And I really love that location simply because it's very much open. It's in a very rural area, and it's sitting on 300 blueberry bushes. So it's a great spot, and I pull a bunch of honey off of that every year. We have 19 hives out there, and so now we're down to 16. But come spring, I've already got all the stands set up over there where I can each one of those hives that I split this year, and I hope I'm going to split, at least 10, 12 of them, that we've got room out there for them just to grow, because I want to grow that yard. It's a very very a yard very close to my heart. I really like it. I mean, I'm very good friends with the daughter, with her dad, and so it's just a very good thing for me. So, thank you, Jesus, that nothing worse happened with that. And still, I do not know what set it off. They had cut the field. They were getting ready to bale the hay, and they cut the field. So the field, um, everything was cut, just laid down, which may be another reason why the hives weren't damaged to any extent. But to me, it doesn't really matter how it started. Everything that's like water under the bridge, and we'll just move forward after that. Good morning, Rodney. Good to have you with me this morning. Up in Montana, you got a lot of space, so I guess fires up there, field fires are common. So, anything could have, there could have been a multitude of reasons why. And like I said, they had cut that field a few days, so it could have even been spontaneous combustion because, compacted straw, it does build up heat. So, it doesn't matter. It's fine. Look at that. Phil is sending somebody. Mark, look at that. You just got a free membership to the channel thanks to Phil Andrew. And Phil is in Australia, so you're really lucky. Jim from Middle Tennessee, we're under burn ban due to drought. Yep, it's dry right here. We haven't gotten a lot of rain here either. Thank you, Zena. Philip Duncan, nice seeing you again. Have to leave. Thanks, Philip, for joining me this morning, and I'll see you in January. I'm looking forward to it. So last month, Jim sent me. I don't have the shirt on this morning, Jim, but Jim sent me the shirt about Mr. Ed the zebra. I don't have all that stuff by the desk anymore, but it was a good thing. A story about a zebra. Somebody up there bought a zebra in Texas, brought it back to, and then the zebra got out and was running amok. Great story and a great shirt. So Jim, thanks so much for that. And I know it's Boro. I still got your hat right here. Look at that. Jim from Boro Bees Honey Company. Thanks, Jim. Man, you guys are some kind of lucky. So, because Bill Reynolds just gifted a membership, and Melanie Cruz, Melanie, that must be like the third time that somebody gifted you a membership. So Melanie is down in Florida, and so Melanie, you know that I'm coming to West Palm Beach in just a couple of weeks, so maybe I'll see you there. So Gunline Bees is extra work, but that's a good idea, Tim. And actually, um, uh, if I was a better beekeeper and I keep the grass and stuff mowed around it, that'd probably be a good idea. But if you know me, it ain't gonna happen. It's just a lot of work. It really is, and I got other stuff going on. Well, see that? DC tells it. I've seen barns of hay drying start up. And I mean, it's because they generate heat. That compost piles. That's why they burn because they're hot. When you turn them over, you can actually see the steam coming out of them on winter days. Steve, good morning again. Been very busy, dry here in Missouri, but the bees have been busy regardless. Our bees have been busy throughout the summer. Yeah. The dryness I think is really going to affect our goldenrod this year. I mean, it's blooming right now. I saw bees. I've got a little stand of it right in my front yard, and yesterday I went out around 2 o'clock, and the bees were working it. They were pulling pollen because I saw them loaded with pollen. I don't know if they were getting nectar. And then later on in the afternoon, I saw wasps, bumblebees. They were in it as well. So, are we going to get goldenrod honey? I don't know. Maybe. Hope so because I like it. Jesse E. Jeff, got to say, love how happy you are in talking about bees. That's because they're so cool. I mean, for me, it's a very spiritual thing, keeping bees. So it's not. That's why I consider myself a steward, not an owner. Besides, they're not my bees; they're the monks' bees anyway. And so even when I do removals, as I don't really go work bees normally like normal beekeepers do. Basically, my method of beekeeping is I set them up, let them grow, give them room, and then I go collect rent in July and then shut them down and start the whole process up. The only beekeeping I really do, I think that I really do is making splits. Um, in the early springtime. And I love doing that because I think that is my most favorite part about beekeeping is growing bees, having them coming out of the winter and going into the spring and just watching those hives just blow up. That to me is the most thrilling part of beekeeping, even more so than getting the honey. I just like watching the bees grow. Red Horse says, Mr. Ed, pretend you're on your letter carrying route and grab a weed eater, clean around the eyes. Well, when I was a mailman, I didn't walk. I was in a truck. So, me being lazy, I've got a big, long history of being lazy. So that I knew early on in my postal career that that walking stuff that was for young guys, not for me. So I went for a riding route, and that's what I got. So YR says exactly, bees are the coolest. They defy physics beyond pure joy, for sure. That's it. That's why I've been a beekeeper since 1978 because it is so much fills me with so much joy just to be around them. And I know like it's a very common feeling among beekeepers that sound that of bees, like particularly when they're cleaning up the supers or just eating. It's that sound it just draws you to it, and it's like such a wonderful thing to be able to be in that and to be a part of it. So it is. It's joy. Good morning, Jack and Danette. Good morning. DCB says, my bees are God's bees. I just tend them for him. Amen. That's right. You're right. Jeannie Barnhart. Hi, everyone. I love how you respect the bees and nature. Eh. Well, it, it's it's just the right thing to do, and so and plus I think the position that I'm in as the beekeeper for the monks, it enables me to express my love for the bees in that way. DC, you and I have the same understanding. Look at that, Keith Spillman. Good morning. Yeah, I'm happy that you made it too, Keith. Thank you very much. Steven, what is your favorite honey? I like Orange Grove honey best. All right, so here it is, Mr. Ed's favorite honey, sourwood. I don't know why that stuff to me is just number one, sourwood honey. Love the singing and the scent of the hives. Yeah, that's. I'm glad you said that, Phil, because it is. It's that smell. It's like you can open up a hive and just from the sound of the bees and the smell that's hit your face, you man, this is something right here. And so I agree. I forgot about the smell part of it, but that does make the appreciation even more fuller when you get that. I don't know. That's just such a unique smell that bees have, and uh, maybe that's something that you have to get used to, or but I don't know. To me, you can tell the pureness of it that you know right away when something is off when you smell something different. Particularly, like you could be walking by a hive that's getting slimed out, and you say, "Oh no!" And I'm sort of walking by because that smell is so distinct when the honey is just pouring out of it. Of course, got the visual as well. All right, so let's see what else well, I got a few letters and comments, so I guess we can do that. This has been on for 50 minutes already. Dragons Gaming never expected a live stream from it. Mr. Ed goes live every month now, so everybody put this on their calendar. The first Saturday of the month at 9 a.m. Central Time, I go live. I know the reason I go live is because there's so many that leave comments or watch videos and leave comments that this is the opportunity that you can actually see me for real in real time. So I do this in gratitude and appreciation for all that you all do for me. And plus, I mean, I like talking. Y'all might not know that, but I do like talking. So it's every first Saturday of the month at 9 o'clock Central Eastern Time, not Central Time. I go live, so you can put that on your calendar, and we'll be right here in Studio B Productions office here at St. Joseph Abbey. And that's true, Phil, how that scent can change, but there's still an overall smell about a hive. It's probably got to do with the inside being all propolized inside. It's probably got to do with that. And I imagine that the propolis smell, that smell can actually vary depending on the source of the resin that the bees are using. But still, I know I've seen documentaries about now they're doing breathing treatment for people where they breathe in the air from beehives as it's been proven to be beneficial, I guess, for allergies and stuff like that. So, sight and smell, it's a great thing that bees provide for us, as well as the honey. So Pauline in Wales, at the moment, it's cold, windy, and wet, but through the summer we have bee-friendly plants and flowers, and it's such a delight and blessing to watch them. I agree. I get to I my position as being retired and doing what I do here at the Abbey, I have a lot of time to just smell the roses, so to speak. And so I do spend a lot of time on my back porch at the honey house, just observing the bees come and go. That really is those hives that are on the back porch of the honey house. And I think I've got 14, 15 of them out there. They're they're my they're my guide. This is I know what's going on just looking at observing these, and I have them in different stages of development, from the little 5-frame nuke that I just put in there the other week, all the way up to hives that have been back there for now going on 4 years back there. But I just keep splitting them, and these are just the new ones. I always move the old queen off, but and some of those things, even right now, have 3 deeps on because I didn't pull the honey off them. But a few more weeks, and I'll be pulling that honey off up in there. The wonder of a swarm moving in. I always remember that video, Jim, because it's so amazing to watch a swarm of bees come in, whether it's into a trap, moving into a house, whatever. But to be there to see this mass of chaos just circling all around you, and for you to be able to just stand there without fear of being attacked. On that particular video, I know I caught the queen. She got out the cage. I caught the queen. She got out the cage, and then I went to catch her. That's one of my all-time favorite videos. Watching a swarm come in. Retirement is the best, Phil. That's the bottom line. Lee, I already talked about you this morning from Baker's Bee and from another guy that's up in Denham Springs up there. But I already talked about you this morning, Lee. So thank you for joining us this morning. And Bill says it's upper 70s to low 80s in Minnesota. Goodness sakes. Next week, a 20 to 30 degree drop in temps. Yeah, frost comes Monday and Tuesday. Goodness sakes, golly. We're not going to have frost for a while. We probably won't get a frost until, I bet you, it's January, which I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Isn't that the truth, DC? Isn't that the truth? So, Lee, what you been doing? You been working a lot? Lee is a crane operator, and he works some unusual hours. And Lee, we got to get back up there into your studio, and we got to do one of these things. That would be awesome. So maybe one first Saturday of the month we can get together and we can come live from your studio instead of the Studio B offices right here. SM Cousins, please hit the like button. Yeah, that'd be good if you did that. Yeah, it's not necessary, but yeah, I appreciate that. 10 years. I feel I'm going. I'm in my 16th year of being retired. Tell me I ain't blessed, man. And then, man, it's like, oh, unbelievable. And plus, not only that, I'm on Medicare. Tamali, thank you very much for joining us from South Africa. You get some sleep, and hope to hear from you again. God bless. 2 months? What? And you haven't called me up? Golly. We got to hook up, dude. You hear that, Lee? We got to get together. All right, look. So let's do a couple of letters and labels, huh? So this one is from John Wilson in Wakeman, Ohio. No letter. He just sent a label, beautiful label, and I'm sure this is a custom label, and it's John's Honey. Look at that. Oh, that is a nice label. I like those skeps. The one of the first beehives ever skeps. Well, man-made beehives at least. Beautiful, John. Great label. And thank you for sending it. All right, so Steve, I got your little letter and card right here. Uh so my birthday was last month, September 7th last month, and they sent me a card. Blessed are they that hear and trust in him. Mr. Ed, on your birthday, may you look forward to another year of good things God has ahead. Thank you. And happy birthday. God bless Steve and Amy Zimmerly. And they sent their label and also another note. Hello, Mr. Ed. Oh, this one. Oh, no, that's both of them. We thank you for the delicious Abbey honey. So I sent them, they ordered some honey and I sent it, which we greatly appreciate and enjoy. So I said that on when I sent them the honey. I said, well, why do you want to buy honey? Y'all have honey, but they still want to get some Abbey honey, which we greatly are enjoying. It was a pleasure hearing that you read our letter on the live Q&A. We have enclosed our honey label for your wall. God bless Steve and Amy Zimmerly. And here is their honey label. Zimmerly Apiary. Beautiful label. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. And on the bottom, made with love. That's right. Them bees, they love us. All right, let's see. We got another one. So Red Horse, I actually saw that video about the Germans building the skeps, and that video. They also have another one showing when the bees swarm out of these things, and it's amazing. It's an old video, um, uh, but it's just amazing how in the 1900s or early 1900s how much beekeeping has advanced since that. It's a very intriguing video. So let's see. This one is from Leland Neely, and here's a card. He says, "May the Lord bless and keep you." Numbers. That's a great book of the Bible. So he says, "Mr. Ed, thank you for the videos and knowledge you share with us. God's blessings to you. Good time, Charlie, and Wreck-It Ralph, and also your wife, Mona." Well, thank you so much, Lee. And I've attached my honey bottle sticker for your walls. And here's his label right there from Holcomb, Mississippi. So I don't know what the number 3 is on the B. So what's that mean? I don't know. Nice label though. Very nice. Very nice. Another custom label. All right. Let's see. We got. So here's a letter that I got yesterday. So in the post office. All right. Let me say this. Every monastery, at least in the United States, has their own zip code. And the reason they have their own zip code is because they have their own post office. So it's just a branch office of the main office of the area, but they have actually a different mailing address. So like our main office in this area is the Covington office, which is only 2 miles from here. But because the Abbey and all Abbeys have their own post office, and so they have their own zip code and their own mailing address. So even though we're only 2 miles from the post office in Covington, when you send a letter or something to me here, you address it not Covington, but St. Benedict, Louisiana. And our zip code is 70457 instead of 70434 or 433, forget which one. But so they have their own post office. And there's so many offices in the Abbey. So uh, when the mail arrives at the Abbey, it's distributed, and it can easily get to the wrong destination, particularly if the clerk that's working the mail is a substitute and they don't know my name. Now, the regular clerk at our post office, her name is May. That's it. And because they just changed. Uh, when the regular clerk is working, they know that my name, Jeff Harchoff, is also Mr. Ed. So they anything for Abby Honey or Jeff Harchoff, they'll direct to me. Well, this particular letter, even though it's addressed Mr. Ed, it wound up going to another office here at the Abbey, and it's our IT office. And the IT guy, he was on sabbatical for the last 2 months, and he just got back, and he sent me an email 2 days ago. He said, Jeff, I went through my mail and I got a letter in there for you. And so I got it yesterday. So it's a little late coming. It was actually dated the 12th of August is when it was mailed, and I got it yesterday. But it's not the post office's fault. It just got misdirected here at the Abbey. And this is the card that they sent. And it's from Celeste Mayer in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. And she wrote, Dear Jeff, and it's handwritten, so it's kind of it's difficult for me to read these things, but let's see if I can say it. I saw you present at the North Carolina Beekeepers Conference. So that was when 628 Dirt Rooster and I went. That was a year ago. We did that. After I committed to help a new homeowner who couldn't afford a pro get the bees out of the side of his house, where I could learn and prepare for my first cutout. So she never done a cutout, but she's began watching my videos. Thank you for doing your wonderful videos. They are enjoyable for so many reasons, but what I needed the most was to learn, and I got that aplenty. The cake decorating blade was just what we needed. So that's I use a 16-inch long cake cutting knife to get into really long places, and so I have about a 10-inch and then that 16-inch knife that I use. And she says that the cake decorating blade was just what I needed. I had a template of the size to cut out. That's that little yellow board that Charlie made up for me. That thing is just a great little tool. Know what robbing would look like, and used large rubber bands to hold the wax. Vacuum bees, then removed and repeat. It was made with the same. I was ready with the same queen cage you use, though we didn't find her. If we had, I would have said, thank you, Jesus, and thank you, Jeff. But I can't say it now for the wonderful experience helped along by you. Warm regards, Celeste. So you're very welcome, Celeste, and thank you for your kind letter, even though I didn't get it until yesterday. And that's it. Oh, I got one more thing. And you know, one of the ways that this whole Abbey program got started and continues is through donations, that people actually donate to the Abbey, particularly to Abby Honey. And through those donations, almost everything you see in that honey house has been gotten through donations. So the other day when I went to the post office and I picked up the mail, I got the biggest shock of my life, because somebody normally when donations come in, they go to the business office and then all that stuff is handled there. But for some reason, uh, the letter came to me, and it was just for a very large amount. And so I just want to acknowledge they when you send a donation to the Abbey, they send you a letter of donation that you can use for your taxes. And they acknowledge the gift, and I like to acknowledge them as well. But I want to thank Lucas Hanks for his very generous donation. I'm not going to tell you how much, but needless to say, Lucas's donations will be able to buy our frames that we're going to be needing this year for our honey. So Lucas, thank you very, very much for your generous donation, and I truly, truly appreciate it. As do the monks, because, like I said, I'm just the face of Abbey Honey, but I truly appreciate that the gift of and support that you've given to us. So thank you very much, Lucas. All right, let's see. Lots of stuff talking between people. That's one of the fun things I like about this, because most of these beekeepers, they know each other. Everybody goes to everybody's channel and talks. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that the dirt rooster. I mean, I know he's generally he's up at this time of day, but he's not. he hasn't checked in yet, and he knows that I do this. So let's see. I talked about the fire. Oh yeah. So let me recap about my visit to West Palm Beach. So on November November the 7th, um, I will be speaking at the West Palm Beach Beekeepers Club in West Palm Beach. It's because I talked to Paula the other day about this, and she said there's probably going to be about 100 plus people there. So be a nice little crowd, not too many. So for those that are not members of that club, uh, I think I think that the price of admission is $10. If you're a member of the Palm Beach West Palm Beach Beekeepers Club, it's free for you to attend. And they actually rented a space. I think is at a botanical garden that because they're to accommodate the crowd. So that'll be on November 7th. And for if you go in the description of this video right here, there's a link in there that if you hit that link, it will tell you all the information about my visit to West Palm Beach. So if those are you in Florida on that East Coast, Miami, in that area, St. Lucie. If you're interested, check out the link and find out all the information. Yeah, it is a little vacation because we're actually gonna drive there, so it'll take us 2 days to get there because I don't travel real good. I don't want to fly. I hate flying, so I'd rather drive. So it'll take us 2 days to get there. We'll spend the night in Jacksonville, and then the next night we'll be down there in West Palm Beach. We'll spend 2 nights down there, and then it'll take us 2 more days to get back home. Right, a little vacation. So me and Miss Mona will just be on I-10 and I-95. So it'll be a good time. Phil, thanks so much, and thanks for gifting. I think it was Linda. I think that you gifted. Thank you very much, Phil, for that. Well, Lee, you have a fun time out on that river, and you better be safe because them moccasins are out there. That's the only thing you got to worry about on that river is the doggone snakes. Well, look, it's already been an hour, and I really got a lot of stuff um, to get finished up this morning. In fact, I got to go look at a bee removal this morning as well, and then we have the big celebration for the Abbey Church. So a lot of things going on this morning. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up kind of early. So I thank all of you all for spending a little time with me this morning. I truly love going live and talking with you all and telling you all what's been going on for me. But if you watch my videos, you know what's going on with me. And Scott, I wanted to say you need to email me and set up a time. Come on over, and I'll be more than happy to show you our operation. And this goes for anybody. I get visitors from all over the country, as well as from Europe as well. We've had from France, UK, South America. So people that come visit the Abbey, not necessarily just to see me, but to visit the Abbey, and I'm more than happy to show them and show off our honey operation. So let's go ahead and wrap it up. So thanks for watching. Keep on watching, and I will be making more. God bless. Mr. Ed, I am out of here until the next video. God bless everybody. Bye-bye. And we are ending it now.